So she said, every one of your stories. First, she said, Michael, have you ever thought you had a problem with chemicals? Sort of. And again, I'm a counselor by trades. I wasn't then. So it makes it even more ridiculous how this happened. So I had a girlfriend I had been with for 3.5 years at this point, and she came from a family of recovering alcoholics, and she started going to therapy because she was really struggling with a lot of emotional issues. Back in the day, pretty much nobody went to therapy. She met that went to therapy. And she was starting to change, and I wasn't getting away with everything. And I didn't like that. So my strategy, being a con man, was I'm gonna ask her for her therapist's phone number
Mm,
and make an appointment with her therapist so I could prove that there's nothing wrong with me. So the
mhm,
shift would go back to what's wrong with her. Cause my girlfriend was starting to figure out I'm, I'm a pretty shitty guy. And I wanted to change that narrative. So in my mind, I was going to go to this therapist and convince her there was nothing wrong with me. So I was going to her, and it was my fifth or sixth session. And she comes in, like right out of the movies with the yellow pad and all the notes. She says, Michael, I met with my supervisor last week because I'm not sure I know what to do with you. And I figured, oh, good. She figured out there's nothing wrong with me.
mm, mm,
That's not what happened. So she said, every one of your stories. First, she said, Michael, have you ever thought you had a problem with chemicals? Do you think you have a problem with drugs and alcohol? I go, yes, since I have such a challenging girlfriend and we have such a hard relationship. Like I'm going into all of this. And she goes like this, she goes, hold on. And she gets her yellow pad out and she reads the first sentence of every story I shared with her over the
mm,
previous handful of sessions. And every started with, I was drunk or I was high or I was drunk and high. I was like, shit, my plan's not working. I'm scrambling in my head, mentally joined the conversation again. And she said, Michael, I used to be a drug and alcohol assessment counselor.
mm, mhm,
I used to do evaluations. But since I've worked with you and I'm not licensed to do that right now,
mm,
I'd like to give you the card of the guy that I used to do them with, and you could go get one from him. Would you be willing to do that? And I thought, I can manipulate a guy. It was a woman. That's why I didn't get away
right,
with it. So I said yes, thinking, of course, anything to help. And I figured, okay, I'm going to be able to bullshit him. So I go to my appointment with him. And I know you're waiting for the part where the light went on and I wanted help. And I know that's what you asked me, and we are getting